So, hi everyone. My name is Renee from Advanced Innovation Manufacturing Asia. We have with us today Kenneth Sim, the CTO of OneSystems Technologies. So, hi Kenneth. Maybe a quick introduction about yourself. Share with us what you do at your role at OneSystems Technologies and what's the main core of the business.
Right. Hi everyone. My name is Kenneth. I'm the CTO of OneSystems Technologies. My role typically is the intersection between um, tech technical strategy as well as delivery. Of course, I oversee architecture, how we do architecting, design, engineering, and of course also the evolvement of future technologies where how we actually bring it to our forward-looking customers, right? And in One Systems, we focus primarily on semicon semicon industries, pharmaceuticals, as well as data center. Typically, most of our work evolves around security and communications infrastructure. Uh, Again, it goes back, we are very focused on that three particular industries. And along the way, we have been around for 20 years. And we are proud to say that we have never outsourced anything. Internally, we have all these capabilities developed in-house for our customers.
And what will be the biggest pain points you are addressing today with the industries you're serving?
Right. What we observe is that we actually wedge ourselves between OT as well as IT. Because these two systems are typically, or rather historically, they're always siloed, right? So over the past 20 years, we look at IT and OT convergence as our main go-to-market strategy, and we develop capabilities around that. With OT, it's always about automation, and of course, monitoring and operating physical equipments. Whereas IT is all about data communications and how much bandwidth it can provide, especially in today's context of AI being deployed everywhere. Um, However, what makes us different is that over the past 20 years, we actually sit in between the two and we speak languages of both IT as well as OT. So I think that's where we develop our business.
Fantastic. And what are some of the biggest mistakes that companies have made with AI? Now that it is trending, everyone's talking about it, and people are jumping on the bandwagon. But some people are like on a look and see,
Mm.
scenario, right? So, what are some of the biggest mistakes being made today? You think?
From what we observe is that many companies are jumping into it and following all the various buzzwords being thrown around everywhere. From it's no longer the traditional AI chatbots and everything evolved into agentic AI and so on and so forth. However, we hardly notice customers that focus on workflow. So they jump head on into agentic AI without a workflow supporting it. So end up, I believe, for companies who are doing this, they will burst through their AI budget very quickly. So what we recommend is that yes, get your workflow sorted out and build your agents around it. That gives you a way faster ROI, and you will be able to yield the returns of AI very, very quickly.
So, what should be their consideration factors when they decide what kind of solutions to implement?
It really depends on where is the largest pain point. We also observe that many customers are also looking at, let's try out AI and see how it goes.
Okay.
So they pick the least um,
Crucial
department or elements and say, okay, HR, right? IT, start using AI and stuff like that. But unfortunately, they have very limited impact at the business. Um, Certain organizations are a lot more forward looking. They look at, I have a whole bunch of data sitting everywhere. How do I make sure I realign my data strategy to support AI functions that allows me to bring business value? That is where I see the most successful cases from some of our customers.
And what sort of skill sets must we develop in the manufacturing environment today for them to adopt AI and new technologies?
two ways of looking at it, which I mentioned earlier. One is definitely workflow. AI can certainly not just look at your workflow, but rather look at how you can optimize your workflows through the newer set of technologies and tools. I believe many different uh, partners are also bringing in cutting edge technologies into the manufacturing industry. For example, we are partners with one of the uh, technology partner who developed the next generation MES.
Oh, okay.
And it has got AI already built in there, right? From OneSystems Technologies perspective, we are actually helping them to continue to innovate their product faster because we are at the ground working with the customers. So we actually help them improve how their AI should function, how it should actually tune the data sets so that it's able to provide more value to the customers as they are adopting the next generation MES.
So what kind of talent should they develop in-house to start working with partners like you or vendors like yourself?
Actually, they don't have to. I think more importantly, with customers, is always about their domain and their current know-how. What we observe is half the time before we get there, in fact, we need to first tidy up their data sets.
So
Right.
should we upskill them in this area to
Yes.
deal with data?
Exactly.
Okay.
The faster, the cleaner the data, the more accurate AI can be. So it's always again, it's garbage in, garbage
Cleaner
out.
and the right data.
Correct. So yes, take a look at all your Excel spreadsheet, do something with it.
Can you share some successful case studies in which you have helped some of the manufacturers, be it the data centers, the pharmaceutical or the semicon players, in being successful in this whole AI journey?
See, so besides AI, I think one of the key thing is how does AI video analytics, for example, right, traditional surveillance, how AI analytics actually play a huge part, regardless or in the manufacturing industry. It's not just security anymore, right? We are looking at productivity. We are looking at unsafe practices in the work environment. For example, it's very common nowadays that we see people walking with their palm and their phone, looking at it as they walk, and then accidentally bump into somebody. These are areas whereby how AI can play a part. And it's no longer just about having static CCTV, but more importantly, how computer vision and AI allows the team to respond faster. And you no longer have to memorize what is your operations run book or SOPs. You literally have AI prompting you immediately when they observed it.
So how does OneSystems Technologies differentiate itself from other competitors in this space?
Now, one key thing is we have been around for 20 years. We have developed all these skills internally in-house. In fact, we know many of our competitors actually subcontract and in certain phases of their work, and that introduce risk to our customers. In OneSystems, we don't do that. For us, it's always about us developing our own capabilities. This allows us to produce consistency. We continue to innovate with the customer, and more importantly, we stay accountable with the customer for the long term. I think that's where we are very different from many different people. And I think with the know-how of the convergence between IT and OT, I think this is also where we set ourselves apart from many of our competitors. In
Are
fact,
you referring to infrastructure or protection, cybersecurity?
either, because when we are dealing with OT, we have to look at how do we actually integrate them with IT, right? And IT will always have cybersecurity. Maybe I give you an example around it. If you talk to cybersecurity experts, what they are always looking at is network traffic, vulnerabilities, etc., etc. They will not ask you about what is the default password for or a password policy for your video management system. They don't care. But however, that is equally vulnerable. And that actually opens up a backdoor to your systems because they are connected to your backbone, your IT infrastructure backbone. So one way or another, it introduces another set of vulnerabilities. This is where OneSystems technology, like I said, we are very good at it. We know how to speak the lingo between the two worlds and marry them together. Especially where modern manufacturing, high-tech manufacturing, we observe more and more edge devices with AI coupled that does very specific things. It becomes paramount for organizations and including cybersecurity to start looking into all these devices and protect them.
AI at the edge.
Exactly. When AI at the edge, you have data there. You are collecting data from there. How do you show proof that those data collected is clean and accurate without any sort of false injection?
Wow, fantastic. So cybersecurity is an important element. So as you build the infrastructure, you're already ensuring protection for the client, and
Yes.
you're doing it everything in-house.
Yes, we have to. We have to. There are just too many things. I mean, in high-tech manufacturing, they are high-value assets in their plants, right?
See.
So, with everything riding on IP and AI, like I said, nope, we need to be able to marry the two together in one seamless, manageable platform that is scalable.
Okay, and what are some of the trends or opportunities that you see in the advanced manufacturing space? And what sort of new technologies are going to emerge after AI, right?
I think this is also where we observe how AI is going to play a part in terms of how you maximize your yield from your line, right? I mean,
ROI?
Your ROI, and on top of that, even defects. For example, if you have a plant, you notice you have a 1% defect, although I think that's a lot for manufacturers. Where is the problem? Right? Traditionally, how are we going to solve the problems? You go one by one, station by station along the line, try to troubleshoot and find out what went wrong to that 1%. But if you have this data and they are already collectively collected and centralized, I think this is also where AI is able to analyze exactly what went wrong through all the sensors across the entire line. So this is what we observe, and you no longer need to sit there and try to spend half a day trying to get that report out. No, with AI, you probably get that in minutes. So again, you actually accelerate your productivity. You're able to scale. You do a lot more with less. So from a manpower perspective, I think this is also where there are also opportunities for organizations to upskill and reskill their people so that they continue to bring value back to the organization.
What would be the areas to upskill and reskill them?
Actually, simple things, right? First thing first, be good at, let's say, prompt engineering.
Okay, back to the basics.
Back to the basics. There are still a lot of people who doesn't do prompt engineering correctly. I mean, it's very easy to use any open source AI and say, hey, give me a 3-day, 2-night itinerary for Penang, for example. You ask the AI 10 times, you probably get 5 different answers because you didn't give it context. You never say how many people is going, are there kids, are there elderly, any particular areas of interest, right? So prompt engineering in a way is an art, right? And don't assume AI is correct, especially if you're using open source.
Right.
Yeah.
So if you have a word of advice or an inspirational quote for the companies today to embark on this AI journey very quickly and scale, what would that be?
Focus on 2 things. 1, cleaning up your data, making sure they are accurate and correct. Second, look at your workflow. Have this documented well. Have reviews before you implement AI. And even after you implement AI, you need to give it constant reviews. You need to review the entire AI architecture consistently. Too many people, it's not a fire and forget thing, right? Where you implement, okay, I'm AI driven.
Human in the loop.
Yes. In a way, human in the loop, and somehow you will reach a point whereby it's human hand holding the AI.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we don't leave it to AI to make the decisions.
You don't want it to, not now, until you're very comfortable and confident that, or you have tuned the system in a way whereby you have full confidence that it's able to make certain level of decisions, certain autonomous decision. Of course, it's like how we, in best practice perspective, right? There's always a level 1, level 2, and level 3 approvals and stuff like that. Probably if you can bring AI to level 1.5, I think that's good.
I see.
Right? So you can eliminate a lot of elementary decisions, right? And let business owners focus on where are all the hard decisions to be made, and then focus around that, than to spend half their time on all the nitty-gritties. I think that helps accelerate the company to move forward in whatever direction.
What do you think is, what are some of the emerging technologies you think is going to appear after AI?
Quantum.
Quantum computing.
Yes. The amount of power it can generate, and from a compute perspective, will be game changing. It will bring us new areas. In fact, it will accelerate AI even further. With speed. And with that computing power, it does a lot more. I think that is where we can truly realize full autonomy of operations.
Right.
And I think this is also where dark factories will be built and fully operational in a fully autonomous manner, and probably we will see a lot more of that.
In this part of the world, in Asia, you feel that dark factory is going to come. What sort of timeline you're looking at where more dark factories are going to be set up in ASEAN?
I believe this acceleration, if quantum computing really takes off, I think probably within 3-5 years, we will see a lot more coming up.
Wow. Would you see robotics having a role to play?
No, robotics is a very, very interesting thing. Robotics is a whole new thing compared to just AI. Because there are both static robotics as well as the autonomous robotics. I think the technology right now is still in development phase. It hasn't really reached a mature stage. Of course, we see a lot of investments from organizations investing into robotics, and humanoids, etc., etc. It's like probably 3 years ago we started to see robots on wheels going around public areas, but nowadays you started seeing humanoids. So again, but humanoids are programmed to perform a few functions. They can't do a lot as of now. They don't behave like humans. I think along the way, humanoid will evolve, and that's where I think more functions will be taken over unfortunately, by robots.
And how would you think that in Asia will be beneficial for OneSystems Technologies, since we are bringing together the ecosystem of the manufacturers and technology players?
I think the key word you mentioned is where it works magic for OneSystems, right? Because the fact that we believe in ecosystem, in fact, internally we never believe anyone can do everything themselves, right? Without our technology partners, OneSystems won't be where we are today, right? They allow us to build capabilities on top of what they bring to our customers.
Oh, fantastic!
Right? Quick example would be, yes, we have surveillance vendors who are developing state-of-the-art technology, even from let's say AI video analytics. But that is functions. Service providers like us, we are the integrator. We build operational capabilities. We couple them together with such functions together and make it a solution. So ecosystems actually plays a part. And with high-tech manufacturing, it's not just about the manufacturers themselves, but rather the systems integrator, the technology providers. How are we coming together and continue to develop and allow this industry to continue to prosper?
Wow, fantastic. And what kind of partners are you looking out for?
Well, I'm looking for both partners as well as customers. Now, for technology partners, we are always looking for forward-looking and innovative solutions. We are not looking at somebody who slaps a chatbot on top of an MES. No. We want somebody who really understands how manufacturing works, how their technology is going to be game-changing, what value are they bringing to the ecosystem? Again, it's always back to the ecosystem. If you can't bring value, then I wouldn't probably consider that piece of technology for the industry.
And what sort of customers are you looking at?
Three main sectors, again, semiconductor, pharmaceuticals, data center.
Fantastic. All right. Thank you so much for joining us in today's
Thank you,
interview.
Renee.
And if you'd like to meet Kenneth in person, do join us at the upcoming third annual Advanced Innovation in Manufacturing Asia Week in Penang on 29th to 30th of September. Look forward to seeing you there.